Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the show. Because doing well, because having a wonderful day. I have convinced myself, thanks to this beautiful nature corn, but other things, of course, to come in. I'm sorry about last video. We finished it on a bad note. I was like, oh fuck it, bro. I'm gonna go sleep. This is not the way you act. This is not proper etiquette. So we're gonna come in and we're gonna be switching things. We're gonna be changing things and doing things the proper way. So, continuing with episode number 4 of Lost, Feet on the Ground. Now, technically speaking, we finished this 10 minutes ago, so I know exactly where I am. So at night we saw that there was some boar there, which also means that there's food. There's a lack of food. See, this is insane, but in a really good way. Are you already finished? Can't see shit. Okay, you're good. You're good. I can't see shit. We have to really pay attention. See, John, his character, again, this is episode about John. There's multiple ways that he feels like the island will provide. So now they're hungry. There's less food. So what they do? They send piglets in the camp. So John sees it as okay, well, this is a miracle. They're lacking water. They find a waterfall with water. So John sees this as a sign, right? So they're like, hey, we have to hunt, right? Now we have a beautiful scene with Kate and Saeed. Now Kate and Saeed working together, so cool, because Saeed, once again, super important. He's repairing the transceiver to repair the same transceiver that we received the first day. A lot of people are saying like, hey, the message that we received isn't a good message, so you just leave it alone. Saeed and Kate are like that. Now, why I love this, why this is so important, why this is so meaningful. Holy shit, guys. I'm not even kidding. This is from a movie. This is from a freaking movie, guys. Wow. Wow. The nature corn. Wow. This is insanely gorgeous. Oh my god. So it's straight up from a it's important because everybody goes to Jack and say, hey, help me. The phone is too hot. Again. So everybody comes to Jake. So Vanati, Saeed, and Kate are working independently for the betterment of the castaway, because it's castaway or lost. I think it's good. I think it's actually a super nice thing. And we like Saeed and Kate. So when they work together, it's actually quite cool. We got Michael and Walt. It's kind of nice, but not nice. It's kind of nice because Michael found the dog, so the relationship should be better, but it's still not perfect. So he's like, okay, well, baby step. Oh, the sun. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna be annoying with the weather this morning. It's beautiful. Look at this, the sun. It looks like a moon, but it's literally a sun. Isn't that nice? Huge fan of nature. Huge fan of nature. Baby steps, right? With Walt and Michael, it's normal. Next thing that we have is Early and Sawyer fighting. Sawyer has been... See, this is complex. This is complex. Sawyer has been fighting with Early because he stacked some food. Now, here's the problem. We don't know what happened. So Sawyer having his own food reserve, it's bad because everything should be for everybody. However, if he doesn't ask food for anybody else, and he took some, but he doesn't ask for food, then he can take care of. Now, later on, which is next episode, there's gonna be a lack of water, right? And then Jin and Sun are gonna have some water, and then they're gonna say, "Hey, we get the water." Say, "Oh, we traded it for Sawyer water, and because we traded for Sawyer got a fish out of it," which possibly could mean that Sawyer didn't have any more food. So did he steal a lot? I don't know. So we see Sawyer in early fight. Now, why is this an important scene? It's it's an important scene for a couple of reasons. The first reason why it's important is because it shows that people are trying to be hungry. People are trying to be aggressive because of lack of food, right? So the lack of food is getting felt. It's apparent. People are feeling it. So actually important. Now, of course, the problem is, like, does Sawyer act in a bad fashion? Yes, yes, 100%, 100%. However, nobody says anything. People are just like, oh, let him do it himself. It's a system where there's no law and order. Checking the phone is cold enough. It's not. So that's bad. This is a scene of John, and for some reason, this scene feels really green scene behind it. I don't know if the show is filmed on a beach or behind a green, but this really feels like that. Now there's a lack of food. Anybody fighting for food, and John, for the first time, says something. See, John has been standing back and relaxing and checking out. And for the first time, he does a public announcement, and it's like, yo, there's boars. We can eat boars. The one that came to us yesterday means there's a mama boar. We have to hunt it. So like, okay, well, this is food. Now the problem is there are 47. There are 47 people. So asking for 47 people or feeding 47 people is a shit ton of work. It's really hard. Yeah, we're gonna be good. We're gonna be doing this one. I'll be doing some clips, and that's it for today. So we got more of Michael and Son. Now, the Michael and Son is kind of odd because Jin doesn't like Michael. So you think that Jin is jealous. So you think that Jin is racist. But then it makes some sense because Jin comes in and he's like, yo, this guy, he stole my watch. Now it's like it's my wife, and then steal my wife too. So that's pretty much it. And then at the same time, she kind of is doing something. For example, she doesn't say, hey, I'm in a relationship. You know? So this is kind of shitty. Now, Michael, who so far have been nothing but nice to Son, could be like, yo, why are you talking? Because Son, she can speak in English. So, like, why didn't you tell me that you could speak English? Which kind of sucks, right? So he asks her to take care of her son, of his son, which is kind of like a proof of respect. I appreciate that. But then again, it's a proof of respect, which is great, but it's not a good thing. Why? Because it's once again the trope of there's not enough characters on the show to make it interesting, right? Next thing we have Claire, who comes to Jack and say, hey, I found this in the wreckage. And it's a picture of her wedding. And Jack is like, yo, that's really cool, but I'm not sure what I can do with that. She's like, oh, well, we should do a funeral. He's like, I don't have time for a funeral. I don't have the time for that. And then, since she sees that it's not a good idea, she's like, we could lead it. Now, I got a problem with the funeral because it doesn't feel, I don't know if it's Claire feeling she's useless, or there's a lot of people that says, hey, Said says a good thing too. It's like we can't bury them. We don't know their religion. We don't know who they are. Now, the cool thing is we've been there for 4 days, right? So people are trying to wear masks because the body odor is starting to smell, which is decomposition, which is a detail that we've not thought about. So now we got, once again, we got Charlie coming in. We got Shannon. So then, because there's no food, Boone makes fun of Shannon. He's like, hey, what you gonna do? There's nothing to survive. And then at the same time, Shannon has been a freeloader. She doesn't help. There's the same episode. They're like, yo, we take care of the clothes. What are you doing? And he's like, oh, I found Michael. I don't care. Look at this. Oh, dude, this morning is just gorgeous. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. I'm sorry, guys. This is supposed to be one of the best morning ever. And then she comes in and she's like, yo, I'm hungry. And it's like, Boone's like, you cannot even catch a fish. And she's like, yeah, I can catch a fish. So what is the thing that she does? She gets Charlie to catch a fish for her. Which, again, best freaking morning ever, guys. Wow. Which again shows that Charlie kind of like a sucker, right? Because he's not doing the right things. Like, for example, people like Charlie want to help. See, this is why I don't like Charlie. I don't like Charlie because he feels like a bad character. First of all, whatever he does, he's following. He doesn't take charge. The first thing he does is he goes to a plane to help out, but he's looking for drugs. Second thing that he does for helping out is this. But he helps Shannon, who doesn't do shit, instead of helping a person that could do more. For example, he could tell Saeed, Kate, John, hey, you don't need to hunt. I'll take care of it. Just relax and do your stuff, right? They're sending Jack, who is one of the busiest person on the island, which doesn't make any sense. Now they're not sending him. Sorry, but you know what I mean, right? And then Claire gonna have her baby, gonna fall in love with Claire. Because he falls in love with Claire, he puts her safety in front of everybody else. Now, ultimately speaking, I understand that. Personally speaking, I get that. Personally speaking, Jin and Sun has been doing that. But however, Charlie, you're not in a relationship, bro. Get out of it, right? And this is sad because the very first person that he kind of flirts with, I think Claire is Shannon, you know? So kind of Shannon uses him and she's like, yo, can you teach me how to fish, right? And he's like, nah, I cannot do it. Now, the sad thing with this, the really sad thing is that Charlie is not going to fish himself. He's going to ask Early to do it. So you're going to get all the benefits. Now, there's another episode in season 2 where they found a stash of food. And Claire, which is at this point kind of Charlie's girlfriend, she loves peanut butter. And then he asked Early, yo, get me some peanut butter. Because Early's in charge of the food, right? And then he's asking Early, like, yo, give me some peanut butter. And it's like, you're asking me to steal from everybody just for your girlfriend. Who's not your girlfriend? And it's like, I thought we were friends. No, you've been using me since day one. Charlie feels like a user, but then again, Charlie's a junkie. And junkies are a user. Charlie lies. Junkie lies. You understand? So if you think about Charlie as a character, she's a character. If you think about Charlie as an addict, okay, that makes sense. Okay? That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say not successfully. We have Jack taking care of a person. This person is super important because they met before the plane crash. They met in the plane, which was super, super important. So now on the hunting team, we have Jack. No, sorry. We got who? We got John. We got Michael. We got Kate. And who else? I don't know. I think we got Charlie. No, John. That's it. There's only 3 people. Now, what they don't approach in the thing, but that's also important, is a person like Saeed. Saeed is Muslim. Muslim people don't eat pig. Boar is pig. I like to see this about it, so I can't eat because of my religion. To me, that would have been cool. We get more of John's backstory, which I already told you guys. This is about his boss abusing him, which kind of sucks. We got Early and Charlie who's fishing, which could be a very cool moment if it wasn't dirty by the fact that Charlie is using Early. Kind of sucks. We got more of John's backstory. We find a boar. Now the boar comes in and strike at Michael, which hurts Michael. Now, however, they get the boar, so that's actually pretty cool. It would have been nice if the boar was a solution, but it's not gonna be a solution, right? So yeah, we're back at the camp. Got Sawyer. Got more of Claire preparing the funeral. Actually quite nice. We see Walt with it's so nice. We see the party returning. We see that Michael is hurt, worried about his father, which is really nice. Now the sad part is Boone, and I actually really like Boone. I actually really like the character. So Boone realized that Shannon has been using Charlie, and he says, "Oh, you poor dude. I'm sorry, dude. She's been using you." Which is his sister. Other character would be like, "Yo, no, 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 that's my sister. Fuck you off." But it's like, no, no, she used you. You know. So I appreciate it. Shannon's a shitty character. See, there's shitty characters in the show, and I kind of like that too. Um, got more of Jack taking care of a person. Now, what is super cool is the girl who's down. Jack is helping. She's like, okay, well, I'm worried about my husband. And he's like, I'm sorry, your husband didn't make it. She's like, yeah, he made it. He survived. Now, sorry guys, no tower. Just filming a beautiful nature park. I got it about 5 minutes left, so we'll film that. Sorry guys, this is beautiful. Yeah, guys, this is amazing. Can you guys pick up the sorta? We call it. I don't know how you call it, but it's like rays of sunlight through clouds. There's like a sunbeam, which is really nice. So then the girl, she's like, my husband survived. Like, there's no way that he survived. Your whole camp is fucked. And then she's like, yeah, no, he survived. And then the craziest thing is his husband, spoiler, did survive. Which actually a really cool episode. And what is the coolest thing here? Wait a second, is that the one? That is so strong. Yeah, this is the one. So Jack, this is a very well written scene. So she tells him, I don't know her name, I'm sorry. She tells Jack the other survived. Now, Jack sees his father. Why is that an important scene? Because Jack is a doctor, and before he was telling the truth to his patient, like, yo, you're not gonna make it. And his father's like, no, don't say that. Give them hope. Give them a chance to fight for something. So this just happened, which is beautiful. See, with John, this is a John episode. He's like, the world will provide for you. The iron will provide. Jack needed a hope. The iron provided hope. Jack needed leadership. It provided leadership. Jack needed to be a good doctor. He provided a good doctor. All of this was his father. More of Kate and Saeed, which is actually really cool because they have their own thing going on, and it's for the betterment of the. It is for the betterment of the society, so I like that also. You got Kate and Jack, cute moments, but at the same time, it's not great. Locke is gone. Locke just left. Wait. Give me a sec. Locke leaving is a bit of a problem because Locke is one of the first person on the island. Now I've seen season 2, so I know a bit more. Locke is one of the first on the island to discover it is very special. It is extremely special. But then he goes out so often, so we can figure out that, okay, well, he saw this and this and this, and this is why we believe that. But you're hiding that from us. You're not showing us. There is a beautiful movie. That movie was Child Play 1. So Child Play 1 was made in the 70s. They had this robot Chucky. The robot Chucky wasn't good enough. So what they did, they had a doll. And Andy Barkley, which is the character, would place a doll in his ears, and he was pretending that he heard something. Now it was a doll. Now later on, they did place a robot, but the robot only had a couple minutes to do, so it wasn't that big of a deal. That's what we're doing with Locke. They're pretending like, oh, he saw this and this and this, but he hasn't seen shit. We had the funeral, which is just kind of nice. However, I don't know. Because in the funeral, I would have liked to see, like, hey, we're gonna get saved, or not. It's just a goodbye for people that left. There's no, like, okay, what's next? And that's the end of the episode. So, pretty good episode. Pretty good review. We went 20 minutes. See, some of this episode I'm gonna go for more. But episode I'm gonna go for less. Anyway, I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.